Carlos, when you look at today, how much do you credit Gavin Williams versus look at this as a continuation of some of the struggles that we've seen offensively?
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him credit. Obviously, he was really good today, using all of his pitches, but we also know that we're better than that. You know, they know they're better than that. We just couldn't make any adjustments, lot of empty at-bats there. And yes, as good as he was, I feel like he gave us a few pitches to hit, and we missed them, Lindor hits a ball hard that first inning. Soto, I think, hits a ball hard that first inning, but after that, Vientos, I think, was the only one. It was just, like I said, we couldn't make adjustments. And you got to give him credit, but they know they're better. I know they're better.
You've mentioned something similar a lot this year, that they're better, it's going to turn. But now into August, I mean, this has been a pretty consistent season-long thing. When you look at the players that you have in that room, is there anything that you're seeing overall where you say this is one big reason why it's just not consistently happening?
No, I mean, it's hard to kind of just pinpoint one thing, but you look at the game today or the past few days, we go in with a game plan and we haven't been able to make adjustments as they're making adjustments to us as a whole, as a team. Yes, individually, you got to make some adjustments, but as a team, you got to be able to recognize how they are attacking us, and we haven't been able to do that. Today was pretty easy. You saw the curveballs below the zones against the lefties, finishing lefties with fastballs at the top. He threw some two seams against our righties. But once you get that first time through, we got to be able to make those adjustments and recognize what he's trying to do, as to the whole team. And I feel like not only today, but as the past few weeks or so, we haven't been able to do that. And good hitting teams are able to make those adjustments, and they're able to, all right, that's how they're attacking us. We got to do this. We got to flip the script here. And that's where I think is the next step for us to be able to recognize that.
Why do you think you haven't been able to make those adjustments?
Yeah, those are some of the conversations that we continue to have. I know our coaches are working really hard. They continue to have those discussions with the players. But at the end of the day, we got to go out and do it.
Will?
Hey, Carlos, how much does that lack of making adjustments fall on your coaching staff?
I mean, it falls on all of us. It falls on me as a manager. But we're in this together, So, I'm not going to point fingers here, Like we know we got really good players. But if I'm gonna point myself, because I'm the manager and I'm responsible. So I know how hard those guys are working, but it starts with me.
Bruce?
Carlos, what's your message to your players on what is needed right now to break out here?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of different ways that I could go individually, collectively. I think the number one thing is just understanding that, all right, we're going through it right now. But at the same time, we got to find a way to turn the switch here. We know you're good. We know we're good here. But, we got to go out there and do it. So we'll continue to have those discussions. We believe on those guys, obviously. It's been a rough stretch here for quite a bit now. And I know they're working really hard, So the messaging, obviously, we have to be better. We need to continue to work hard, and we got to go out there and do it.
Abby?
I know you guys tend to take a sort of an individual approach when it comes to their approaches at the plate and situational hitting and things like that. And I know you guys are working, but just what more or what's something different can you do? Do you need to do something different or not react? Just how do you try and...
Me as a manager?
No, I mean just the group in general, the hitting group
in
general.
Trusting their abilities, trusting their work, their preparation, and going out there and competing, trusting your plan. When you see guys taking pitches to hit, when you see guys kind of like in between, there's, we're not seeing conviction, So for me, we just got to go out there with conviction, stick to your plan, stick to your approach. Yes, you're going to make some adjustment, but have the conviction when you're making those adjustments as well, and we got to do it.
Things are going bad like this and losses kind of start to pile up, do you think sometimes they can overthink making adjustments at the plate?
I mean, they're human, they're human, but they also been through it. We got a lot of experience in that room. We got guys that been through some stretches like this before, and they find a way to get out of it. And they will find ways to get out of this. But obviously there's a sense of urgency. There's always a sense of urgency here at this level. So, yeah, I mean, we continue to stay on those guys, and we continue to believe on those guys. They're good, and we just got to go out there and prove it.
Dan?
Carlos, were you okay with how Soto went after the ball, the triple in right field?
Yeah, I think, I mean, he went over his head, and then he bounced away from him. So, yeah, I have no issues there.
And the home run from him, do you see that as a potential turning point for him, just one good swing to get him going?
Yeah, I think I said it before the game. The past couple of games, there's some signs there that, he's more balanced, he's connected, he's short to the ball, and we know when you see that right there. I said it before the game, that breaking ball, first at bat against these guys, when he drove it deep to center field, I was like, that's what it looks like. And we saw it right there on that last at bat as well. So I think he's getting close.
Laura?
How would you evaluate the in-game communication, both between the coaching staff and the players, and the players amongst themselves?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You see it all the time. Guys coming back, they're talking, among each other. Hey, this is how the ball's moving. They're talking to the hitting coaches. Like, the communication is there. It's always been. Whether when we're going good, when we're not going the way we're doing it now, they're still having those conversations.
So why do you think that doesn't translate into execution?
Well, I mean, it's hard at times, So it's hard for me to sit here and explain. Well, I'm gonna tell you to do this, and go ahead and do it. And like, we got to go out there and do it. So,
Andrew?
I guess, how would you kind of explain in those middle innings, like sixth inning, when the top of the lineup was coming up? What are kind of the emotions in the dugout at that point, when it had been not only this game but the later part of last game, that no one had a hit at that point?
yeah, I mean, you're trying to just take one at bat at a time, and again, what the guy's trying to do to you, you can be thinking about what happened yesterday. You can be thinking about what happened that last at bat. The most important at bat is the one coming up, that pitch that you're in the fight. So that's the mindset there, and that's the conversation. Like, they're not talking about what happened yesterday. Or, it's like, we need to get it done now.
Dave?
Russ, do you think it's when with losing and when some of the offensive problems pile up, is it harder for the guys to kind of just stay in that baton passing mode or being at good at bat mode and just trying to get into more big swing mode to do it? Are you seeing any of that at all? Or?
I mean, hitting is contagious, and when you get the 1-2-3, 1-2-3, like, the at bats are different. You're not facing that guy from the stretch. The defense doesn't move. You're not creating holes. So like I said, you get few guys that are going through it. Before you know it, it's hard for you to create traffic to get something going, and that's what it looks like the past few days for us here, where we're not creating enough traffic, and then before you know it, you look up and it's the seventh inning and there's not much going.
Manny?
Just, I guess, what are next steps now? Like, what do you guys plan on maybe having a meeting, or what do you want to see from the
We
guy?
meet every day. So there's hitters meeting every day. So continue to trust the guys, continue to stay positive, continue to push them, go back to the video room just the same way they've been doing, and continue to believe in them, like, they're too good of a player, and they know that. So I'm still sitting here with pretty confidence with those guys that, we'll get through this stretch.